When schools first shut down last March, 16-year-old Michael Sines, a sophomore at Spring Valley High School, thought it was great. But that didn't last long.
To be honest, it only took me like a week to realize that we actually need school.
Now, nearly a year later, he is pleading to anyone who will listen, reopen schools.
It's been really hard, no football, no school, no friends. It's been really stressful.
He is one of 6 siblings, and they've been battling connectivity issues since the beginning of distance learning.
So there's 6 of us, right? So we're all in one area, and the Wi-Fi glitches. Sometimes it would freeze. It's like a cartoon, it would just be all jumbled up and stuff.
He says instead of fighting to log on to class, he often feels like just giving up.
I honestly haven't really learned anything this year because I try to pay attention, but it's really hard because I'm not motivated just by looking at a computer screen.
As his frustration mounts, his old outlet for relieving stress is no longer an option.
I usually channel my anger to play football.
Michael says for him, football is much more than just a sport.
Yeah, when I started football, it was the best experience ever. I had a family. I had teammates, family, my coaches were even my family. But then when we didn't have it, I just lost a part of me because football is what I was dreaming to do, and I was using football to try to make my way into college.
Though he wants to maintain his tough football exterior on the outside, on the inside, he says distance learning has at times completely overwhelmed him.
I'm gonna be honest, I had myself bawling my eyes out and just in emotion.
Reality is, it's difficult for all of these kids.
Dr. Michelle Fontenelle-Gilmer is a Harvard-trained psychiatrist and children's medical director at Southern Hills Hospital. She normally sees about 40 school-age kids a week here, all who have been forced into home isolation, away from their friends and their teachers.
One of the very things that we look for when you're looking at depression normally is isolation.
She says students find their identity in school, be it as an athlete or academic star.
This is a time in the teenage years where they're trying to figure out their role, their space in the world. All of the pieces that normally help them to figure out who they are pretty much gone.
She says linking teen suicides directly to school closings is difficult, but there has been a startling surge.
The number of suicides in Clark County were already a high number, which was difficult to deal with to begin with. Now we're looking at double the numbers.
To try to prevent suicides, Clark County has implemented a new alert system built into school-issued computers. It's called Go Guardian Beacon.
Go Guardian Beacon is a suicide and self-harm prevention solution that leverages a combination of advanced artificial intelligence and human insight.
The program monitors a student's activity and alerts teachers anytime a student types something about self-harm. During the pandemic, there have been more than 3,000 alerts.
I think that's incredibly helpful.
But Dr. Fontenelle-Gilmer says parents should also take an active role and ask kids how they are doing. Are they feeling hopeless or helpless?
If you see a kid who's showing all of the signs of depression, then that's when you may want to ask directly, are you feeling like life's worth it? Do you feel like this isn't going to get any better?
She is a big believer in getting kids back in the classroom, back into a social environment.
I think going back to school would be a win-win-win.
While Michael says he's dealt with depression this past year, he's never thought of taking his own life. But he believes the large number of students who have cannot be ignored.
That has to show a sign that we need to be back in school.
He says even one day a week, returning to school in any capacity would be life-changing.
I would be really happy. I'd be from 1 all the way up to 10 because if I got to see my friends and just I might not be able to hug them or give them a dab up, but if I just see them and talk to them, it'd be really awesome because I really miss them.
The pandemic has taken away so much from teens. For Michael and countless other students, a return to campus would be a chance to get it back. And the CDC and Governor Sisolak also said that kids should go back to the classroom. CCSD Superintendent Dr. Jesus Jara went on several national news programs last month pushing for reopening, yet CCSD has yet to announce a timeline or date of return for students 4th grade and above. Live at the update desk, Kim Passoff, Fox 5 News, local, Las Vegas.